Vice President Kamala Harris simply does not get it, and she's going to continue, in my opinion, to hemorrhage many of the blocks of voters that she's hoping to win, particularly when it comes to the black vote. This weekend, Kamala Harris had some star-studded events in order to garner more support or more votes for her campaign, and it's simply not going to work. Obviously, the big dog was Beyonce. I mean, the Illuminati was in full force over this weekend for Kamala Harris. Beyonce is worth $600 million. Why is this relevant? I'll get to that in just a second. Tyler Perry worth $1.4 billion. You had Bruce Springsteen out stumping for Kamala Harris. He's a billionaire. Samuel L. Jackson worth $250 million. I'm going to prove to you this isn't about class warfare at all, but I'm going to prove to you that Kamala Harris, by marching out these rich, wealthy, out of touch elites, is simply going to continue to lose and hemorrhage voters, including black voters, more and more. Hello, you're listening to The Carl Jackson Show, your daily dose of objective truth in a world of confusion and lies. I want to play some video clips for you right off the bat, and I'm going to explain to you why Kamala Harris and Democrats are going to continue to lose not just black votes, but Latino votes, because they are simply out of touch. The Illuminati was in full force again this weekend. I stole that from Gabe. He's a big Illuminati guy, and I actually like that. Listen, I know these people are weird. They're out of touch. I like Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry is a Christian, but Tyler Perry is lost when it comes to politics, in my opinion. I heard him on stage talking about how he did his research against Trump, and Trump's his father, it was racist, and Trump is racist. They wanted to keep people that look like him out of his hotels. And, when he was poor, one of the things that he wanted to do was stay in a Trump hotel. Rappers rap about him, so on, etc. So when he got a little money, that's what he wanted to do. But he did his research and he found out this information on Trump's dad and so on, etc. There are plenty stories to the contrary of what Tyler Perry mentioned. But let's say that they were true. But he said that he's a man that does a lot of research. I wonder if he researched the fact that Kamala Harris stole somebody's spot at Hastings Law School by lying about her economic welfare, by lying about her upbringing. Her parents were wealthy. Her parents were well off. Both PhDs, one a cancer researcher, her mom, her dad at Stanford University, making great money, both of them. And Kamala Harris grew up in rich neighborhoods, not in middle-class neighborhoods. She grew up in well-to-do rich neighborhoods. I'm not mad at that, but simply don't lie about it. But I think in almost one video, and we're going to go through several, but in one video, I think we can sum up why Kamala Harris is going to lose this election, in my opinion. And it's something that she hasn't figured out. It's something that Bruce Springsteen hasn't figured out. It's something that Tyler Perry hasn't figured out. It's something that Samuel L. Jackson hasn't figured out. And again, I'm not mad for the money that they make, but you have to understand, let's be real. Let's just have a real conversation here. If you've grown up poor, now I grew up poor, all right, my family was poor. I didn't even realize how poor until we got older, because I always had my brothers and my sister growing up to play with and stay busy and play with kids outside and stuff like that. At least we had a roof over our head. We had a house that we grew up in, so on, etc. And so I appreciated that. But my parents had 6 kids. My mother died for those of you that don't know my story, my mother died when I was only 11 years old. My dad recently passed away here. But at a period of time, my dad was having to support 6 kids. It was just absolutely insane. So we didn't grow up with a lot. But I can tell you from that experience, I remember growing up and just being a teenager and say, you know what? I want to be able to make it. I don't want to have to live in this type of neighborhood growing up. I don't want to have to worry about gangs. When I have kids, I don't want my kids to have to worry about gangs and all that kind of stuff. I moved to Orlando, Florida. I sought a better life, got in a little trouble, did some stupid stuff. Nonetheless, I started working my butt off. Eventually got a business of my own, or created a business of my own, And then it was not like I was making buku money, but I can remember when I was a kid, I heard that one of my buddy's fathers, he was an electrician and a contractor. He was a small business owner. And I remember at the time, my buddy saying that he made $40,000 a year. And I remember hearing 40,000. I was like, $40,000 a year. I mean, that amount of money was absolutely insane to me. I was like, dude, that's like a millionaire. I mean, I couldn't even fathom back in the day. And I was like, if I could ever make $40,000, I'll know that I made it, annually. And that was one of the things, even when I was younger and first started my business, I was like, I want to make that $40,000. I want to get to that point, so on, et cetera. And then I was able to get there, eventually with a lot of hard work. And then obviously the numbers got better and better as I got a little older and the business expanded or what have you. But I can remember just making it where I lived in a decent neighborhood, not a rich neighborhood, but a working middle class, not an upper middle class, but a working middle class neighborhood, if you will. Not that upper middle class people don't work. I should probably use some type of different term. But I remember just getting to this point and literally just sitting back and like, thank you, Lord. Like, I don't have to worry about walking down the street or my daughter and worrying about gang members or what color clothing you're wearing and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That's the way that I grew up. And I was like, man, I've made it. But I got to a point, the reason why I share this story is because I got to a point, right, where literally the lifestyle that I lived back in the day when I was acting crazy and when I didn't live in the best areas, I couldn't fathom going back. I was removed from that situation, from those areas, from that lifestyle, and I couldn't even fathom going back. And I was in a working middle class neighborhood. How much more out of touch do you think Tyler Perry is? I know Tyler Perry was homeless at one point. So was I, quite frankly. I know Tyler Perry was homeless at one point. Bruce Springsteen, I don't know. As long as I've been alive, from what I remember hearing Bruce Springsteen's name. So he's obviously out of touch. He's a billion. And it's not necessarily the money. Samuel L. Jackson, the same. Mel Gibson was there's a video. I want to play this video. Actually, I'm going to go here first. I wasn't going to go here, but I'll go here first. This is actor Mel Gibson. He says that Kamala Harris has the IQ of a fence post. Now, he has money. What is it that Mel Gibson gets? He has a lot of money, obviously. What is it that Mel Gibson gets that these others don't? Oh, Carl, you're just saying that because he's on your team, because he's obviously a Republican or he's voting for Trump. No, I want to share this video clip number 1, Gabe, if we can get that up. And then I'll tell you what the difference is. Let's go ahead and roll it. Video clip number 1.
The president is being voted on in days. What's your thoughts?
Oh, man, that's a big question.
Or Trump?
I don't think it's going to surprise anyone who I vote for.
Well, so, I mean, I'm gonna guess.
We go in. Yeah.
I'm gonna guess Trump. Is that a bad guess?
I think it's a pretty good guess.
Well, what do you think the world will be like in a second term with President Trump's second term? A lot of people
I know what it'll be like if we let her in.
Yeah. Oh, really?
And that ain't good.
Yeah. Well,
miserable track record, appalling track record, no policies to speak of.
Yeah, and the border, right?
And she's got the IQ of a fence post.
Okay, so that was Mel Gibson. He could define what he didn't like about Kamala Harris, and he could do it relatively quickly when he's on the go, when he's on the fly. Carl, what's the difference between him and these other stars? You're just saying this because you're a conservative. No, you know what the difference is? Mel Gibson, even though he has money, you don't lose touch with people. See, I believe that these other stars have lost touch with people, even though Tyler Perry in his speech, I listened to a lot of his speech, and he claims he didn't because he works with these people and he works with those people. But still, when you're in such a position where you're literally a billionaire, you get to, kind of be over these people and you get to hobnob with the Oprah Winfrey's of the world. your life is completely different. As much as you want to relate, it becomes very difficult to relate unless you hang out with a lot of those people, the lower echelon of society. And I don't mean they're lesser than, they make less money, they're middle class, or so on, etc. I don't think Tyler Perry does that outside of his workload. But so here's what you have to hang on to. When you're in positions like that, you have to hang on to principles. You have to hang on to values. You have to hang on to Judeo-Christian values. And here's what I believe. I believe that a lot of these people, like Tyler Perry, Bruce Springsteen, Samuel L. Jackson, I think they feel guilty for their success. I think when you make a lot of money and you come from the hood or something like that, or you come from a lifestyle where you didn't have as much, or you didn't grow up with as much. I think sometimes when people make it, they simply feel guilty. And so they feel like what they have to do, they have to fight for the little man by saying stuff or devoting themselves to a Democrat Party that has done absolutely nothing for poverty-stricken Americans, for Black Americans, for Latino Americans, for any American, for God knows how long. It's amazing to me that the Democrat Party still is a party of victims and of victimhood. I mean, it's absolutely insane what we're witnessing. Let's go through some of these stars. And Hillary Clinton was out too. I'll come back to Hillary Clinton. Let's go to Bruce Springsteen. Let's go to clip number 4. You saw Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson obviously has a buttload of money, worth tens of millions. I didn't check his net worth. Perhaps I should. But worth a buttload of money. He's voting for Trump. And I argue that he's voting for Trump because he's not making this about emotions. He's making this about principles. And we know that Kamala Harris is a disaster. And if we're being honest, Democrats know, at least the Democrat strategists, the Democratic political elite understand that. But I do believe, again, that when you're dealing with a lot of these stars, they're coming from a place of guilt. Bruce Springsteen, I want to help the little guy. I've got so much. I want to help the little guy. So when you think you're helping the little guy because you vote for the party that constantly says they're helping the little guy, but you never look at the results. The Democrat Party is a party of victimhood, and they're a party of good intentions. And I take that back. I don't even believe they're a party of good intentions anymore. Here's Bruce Springsteen. Here's what he had to say. This is totally emotional, but you can expect this because he feels guilty. Video clip number 4. We'll get that rolling. He says that he's here today to support Kamala Harris and Tim Walz for president and VP, and to oppose Donald Trump and JD Vance. Oh, by the way, before we go there, JD Vance, I should have got this clip up, but I forgot to mention it anyway. So I'll just make a quick mention of it. JD Vance was interviewed by somebody. He was doing a town hall, I believe is what it was, and he was like, "Listen, man, if you have family and friends in a different party, don't discard them just because they have different political views." And I so agree with that. But sometimes I want to make this emphatically clear. I think a lot of people on the left will discard people on the right. I mean, they literally call us Hitler and tyrants and all that, deplorables, the basket of deplorables, as Hillary, called us back in the day. So I would say that JD Vance, I appreciate what he said, and he's right. Listen, if you can be friendly with family members and friends, you should be. You should not let politics get in the way. But some people, sadly, the Democrat Party has become so divisive, so nasty, so mean. They want you to hate your family members. I know that sounds crazy. It's true. They want you to hate your family. They want you to hate your friends. They want you to be divided, because if they can keep us divided, then they can act like they're the champions, right? They can champion our causes. Oh, we're for LGBTQ. Oh, LGBTQ. Oh, conservatives aren't. They're evil. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we're for illegals. We should have open borders because our nation is so evil and blah, blah, blah. But Republicans aren't. They're evil. That's what they do to us. And so their voters think, hey, man, these people are just evil. So they won't even bother to give us the time of the day and talk to us. Here's Bruce Springsteen. Here's a great example. Video clip number 4, Por favor, Gabe.
Thank you. I'm Bruce Springsteen, and I am here today to support Kamala Harris and Tim Walz for President and Vice President of the United States.
Did you hear him sing, Gabe? Man, he sucks now.
And to oppose Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. Now, here's why. I want a president who reveres the Constitution. Who does not threaten but wants to protect and guide our great democracy. who believes in the rule of law and the peaceful transfer of power. Who will fight
He's thinking through it. He memorized it earlier. Fight for a woman's right to choose.
And who wants to create a middle-class economy that will serve all our citizens. There is only one candidate in this election who holds those principles dear, Kamala Harris.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He probably is.
She's running to be the 47th president of the United States. Donald Trump is running to be an American tyrant. He does not understand this country, its history, or what it means to be deeply American. And that's why November 5th, I'm casting my vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. I urge all of you who believe in the American way to join me. Thank you. This is Land of Hope and Dreams.
All right, so his singing sucks, so we won't go there. All right, so this is a guy that says he wants somebody that reveres the Constitution. Does someone that revere the Constitution, would they leave the borders wide open? Someone that reveres the Constitution, do they want to stack the Supreme Court? I really love for him to speak to that. When it comes to someone that wants to help out the middle class, do they really want to help out the middle class when Kamala Harris and the Biden administration, the Biden-Harris administration has caused insane inflation with their spending for green projects that won't go, that absolutely are going to fail? How could you say that? And when they're bringing in illegal aliens to compete against middle-class workers, Bruce Springsteen is a moron. I'm telling you, and I'm not even trying to be mean. I just think these people are so wrapped up in their own world, so wrapped up in their own lifestyles that they simply don't take time to think. I'm going to play you a couple more videos. He talks about a woman's right to choose. By the way, for those of you that are scared to talk about the issue of abortion, they've played this puppy out. She cannot. All she's trying to do now. I heard somebody say this. This isn't my own. This isn't my own thinking, but I do want to share what they shared. And it was another talk radio host, Eric Erickson. I heard him say this, and I thought it was a valid point. Don't always agree with him, but I thought this was I do agree with him often, but sometimes I have my beef with some of the things that he says. But nonetheless, they have played this abortion issue. She's gotten all the women she's going to get for this abortion issue. Right now, all the left is trying to do is make sure the base comes home, because Kamala Harris is not doing well at all when it comes to independents, when it comes to moderates. I mean, even her favorability numbers have been tanking ever since she first made her debut as a Democrat nominee, ever since she was elevated to be in that Constitution. So Bruce Springsteen is a complete and utter joke when it comes to the right to choose. We have the advent of DNA. All right. So we know that a woman's body is not the baby's body. We know that the moment that sperm meets the egg, literally there's another DNA strand that is created. So this is just science. But the left won't go there because they believe in depopulating the earth. And there's a lot of silly women, especially white liberal women, that continue to fall for this nonsense. But it's not working. And it's not working in the black community with black women either. So keep that in mind. Let's play a couple more stars. This is Samuel L. Jackson. He had a lot to say. Only got a small clip of him. We don't need much. And listen, as an actor, I absolutely love Samuel L. Jackson. But when it comes to politics, he's been off, and he's been far off for a long time. Let's roll video clip number 5. Here's something that he has to say. This is very inspiring. Video clip number 5, por favor, Gabe.
She's running on a proven track record of fighting for the people, standing up to bullies, protecting the most vulnerable, and taking on the toughest fights. And we've heard her favorite curse word is a favorite of mine too. But I ain't gonna say that word. But I don't know about you, but that's the kind of president I can stand behind.
Wow, really?
That's the kind of president I can see leading our country forward.
So he can see Samuel L. Jackson because Kamala Harris likes using the word mofo, and because she's standing up to bullies, not to mention that she is persecuting January 6 protesters, not to mention that she's jailing pro-life protesters. So no word about that. No word about the fact that the Biden-Harris administration are literally persecuting the former president of the United States with a bunch of hoax cases. And these are hoax cases. These things will be overturned after the election cycle. That's another reason why they're in full force panic, because they don't want the truth to come out about their own dirt. But Samuel L. Jackson, again, out of touch. He doesn't know. Standing up to bullies. She is a bully. She is a bully. I mean, this is a woman that literally jailed black men, not because she necessarily believed in the principle, but she wanted to be lauded by white liberals in the state of California as AG. So she was locking up black men. This is a woman who at Hastings Law School in California literally got on the, I believe it's the Black Law Students Association. And on that board, she used her power as a student and lied in order to get into the school about her upbringing. Again, her mother, speaking to either a mentor or a teacher of hers, Kamala Harris, had told her that she was basically poor, and her mother was like, we're not poor, we're not this. Her mother was offended. Her mother, even though she was a Marxist and an activist, just like her dad, she was offended because she came to America and she did well, and she was a cancer researcher. So she was shocked that her daughter was lying about her economic upbringing. And so her daughter lied to get into Hastings Law School. And she was a bully because when she got on that board, as we had Jim Thompson on from redstate.com the other night to explain, when she got on that board, she used her power to block young conservatives, minority conservatives, disadvantaged conservatives. So here it is, this little rich, spoiled chick trying to block people. She got into that school. She didn't belong in that school. She stole someone's position. And then she tries to block people that deserve to be in the school. And you got Tyler Perry talking about do your research, and you got Samuel L. Jackson saying they're voting for her because she stands up to bullies. These guys are just absolutely duped. But I'm going to share with you. Oh, let's share this. Let's share this. This is Hillary Clinton. I want you to understand. Hillary Clinton has done so much dirt with her the whole server thing. Back in the day, wiping out all of her email communications and so on, etc. Just absolutely insane. The only reason she doesn't want Trump to get, I know she's lost, that she hurt that she lost back in 2016. I get that. And I think a lot of people attribute, she's got Trump derangement syndrome just because she lost. No, I think she has Trump derangement syndrome. And I think Trump lets us know because she's crooked. Because she's crooked. And she knows that if Trump gets back in office, he can expose her dirt. I guarantee you that's what Hillary Clinton is concerned about. So she will say anything in hopes and in prayers that Trump won't get back in office. Now, he isn't going to treat her like she treated him. Frankly, I wish he would, but he isn't going to do it. Carl, how do you know that? Because he didn't do it before. And he's not going to have time to do it in this next go round. He simply won't have time to do it if he wants to get anything accomplished politically. But for those that broke the law, they need to be persecuted to the full extent of the law. And if Hillary broke any laws, she should be. But unfortunately, because of her power, her status, and how many people are in a deep state, I just don't think anything will happen with her. And I don't even necessarily want that to happen, because all I think that will do is destroy and distract from Trump's presidency. Lord willing, he gets in, and I believe he's going to. But I want to play this video for you real quick. This is video clip number 2. This is Hillary Clinton talking about how Trump is trying to emulate Hitler by throwing an event at Madison Square Garden on Sunday. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Bruce Springsteen plays in Madison Square Garden till this day pretty regularly. I mean, so many events, so many artists. Taylor Swift, were they trying to channel Hitler? I mean, this stuff is just nonsense. But unfortunately, So many voters have been dumbed down so much they buy into this crap. Trump is Hitler. Trump is Hitler. Trump moved the U.S. embassy to Jerusalem, what a bunch of other American presidents were too cowardice to do. His daughter is freaking Jewish now. Ivanka, her children are. She's adapted. She's taken on that religion, that lifestyle. Give me a freaking break, man. You just have to use your noggin. And as Tyler Perry said, do your research. But when you do your research, don't just look at left-wing stuff like Tyler Perry obviously does. Video clip number 2, Gabe. Let's go ahead and roll your favorite chica, Cricket Hillary.
And, one other thing that you'll see next week, Caitlin, is Trump actually reenacting the Madison Square Garden rally in 1939. I write about this in my book. President Franklin Roosevelt was appalled that neo-Nazis, fascists in America were lining up to essentially pledge their support for the kind of government that they were seeing in Germany. So I don't think we can ignore it.
So that's Hillary Clinton. We got it. So if you vote for Trump, you're a Hitler sympathizer. You're a tyrant. You were deplorables before. Got it. This stuff isn't going to work anymore. And I'll tell you why. Actually, I've got several reasons why. I'll show you in videos real quick, and then I'll give you 4 points. There was a great article in the Wall Street Journal by Jason Riley, who wrote about why Kamala Harris is losing black voters. And the reasons are obvious, but when I state them, they will pop in your mind. She's doing everything she can, or at least she was, to try to get black voters, to get black male voters, and it's not working. And I'm telling you, the more she shows her face, the less it's going to work. And the more people like the, as Gabe calls them, Illuminatis for Kamala show up, that isn't going to work as well. As a matter of fact, I think the more stars she rolls out, the more that it will hurt Kamala Harris. I'm going to give you examples of reasons why. Now, we're not going to play this clip in its entirety, but I want to get video clip number 3 up, please, Gabe. This is former Steelers great running back legend Le'Veon Bell. He was just amazing before he got injured. I'm sorry, but I want you to watch this video. Now, remember, just last week, he was at an event with Trump. They went to the Jets-Steelers game together. He spoke at an event in Pittsburgh with I think it was in Pittsburgh. I know it was in the state of Pennsylvania, but I believe it was in Pittsburgh. Antonio Brown, Michael Wallace, and Le'Veon Bell were able to speak on the stage with Trump. And I'm telling you, this is the stuff that's going to elevate Trump to win and Kamala Harris to lose. And I'll tell you why this particular video that we're going to show, not in its entirety, because it's about 5 minutes. I only want to show you about a minute and a half. But I just want you to hear some of the stuff that Le'Veon Bell is saying. Let's go ahead and roll it, please, Gabe. Video clip number 3.
If I told y'all, hey, the last 2 days ain't been insane, ain't been the craziest 2 days of my life, I will be lying. Not only the rally was crazy. I done fought, I done played big football games, playoff games, regular season, Super Bowls. I've never had a feeling like I had 2 days ago at that rally when I was behind that mic in front of America. Like in front of more than just America, bro. I was in front of millions of people, bro. And let me tell you how real Trump is. Because one, I didn't know I was going to get caught up on the stage. I did not know that. I knew AB was going to do his speech. I knew I was going to go on stage with AB because AB was like, yeah, you coming on stage with me, boom. And shout out to AB for that because AB a real one for that. See, AB bring me on stage with me. When Trump went up there and talked, bro, I had no idea, zero clue that he's going to call me on stage, right? Not only do he call me on stage, shake my hand, you know what I'm saying? He talked to me a little bit, but I'm just thinking like, that's gonna be it. I'm cool with that. Got my little photo op, I'm cool. All right, boom, flick it up with Trump, shook his hand, I'm cool. Bro,
this was an NFL great, guys.
Right in my face, he just backed up, and he was like, you got anything to say? You can say it, like. But he holds his arm out like this, bro. Basically said like, yeah, the mic yours, bro. Hey, y'all, I got so nervous, bro. I got shook. I seen the mic wide open. I'm like, damn, but it's an opportunity. I'm like, shit, I can say whatever I want on this stage, but it's like, I didn't want to embarrass myself or say nothing too crazy, you know what I'm saying? But I wasn't about to not say nothing, so I got over there and said whatever. I think I said go Trump or vote for Trump or something. But I wish like I wasn't so nervous. But basically what I'm trying to say is, bro, Trump a real one, bro. He a real one. Like, he ain't tell me like that he gonna let me say anything or nothing. He ain't tell me he gonna call me up, bro. He just did that, bro. Off the love. I get it. He might, you know what I'm saying, want to win the election, whatever, but I'm trying to tell y'all, bro, he didn't have to do that. Like, I could have went up there and just really, I could have messed up everything. I could have went on the stage, bro, got on that mic and messed up everything. That's why y'all don't understand that Trump is a real one, bro. Sunday come, we got the tailgate. All
right, we'll stop it there. Well, let's stop it there. The video goes on for a couple more minutes, but I just wanted you to get the gist. Now, let me tell you why this is so much more damaging and is going to do more for Trump than Tyler Perry, Bruce Springsteen, Samuel L. Jackson, and Beyonce are going. Oh, by the way, we do have to play that Beyonce clip. I almost forgot about that. I forget which one that is. Oh, that's because I have. Okay. I'll tell you why these won't work, and we'll play Beyonce. I actually meant to play Beyonce first, but this is going to work because this guy, Le'Veon Bell, straight up came from the hood. More, you can. Samuel L. Jackson, in my opinion, so far removed. Tyler Perry, so far removed. Le'Veon Bell, younger man, played in the NFL, did his thing. But you got Antonio Brown, you got Michael Wallace, you got three young black men that came from nothing, that achieved the American dream, that are saying you can do it too. And they're blowing up this notion that Trump is some racist, some this and that, and he's not scripted. He's the real one, as Le'Veon Bell said. I mean, look at his excitement, bro. It wasn't scripted. It wasn't nothing. Hey, you want to say something? You know, just. Like that's the way that Trump deals with people. And I believe that he deals with people, whether you like him or not. I give him credit for this, because people often say, how can a billionaire relate to the average everyday man? How does he do it? Because of his industry. He has to work with construction workers. He has to work with the people that are the electricians, the plumbers, the bricklayers, you know what I'm saying? Throwing concrete down, all of that kind of stuff. He has to deal with people like that every single day, or he did in his business. And so what? So they become his friends. He hears their problems all the time. And I think that's what Le'Veon Bell is able to give. This is someone, in my opinion, that's more relatable still to the average everyday American, even though he's been an NFL star. But because they came from such poverty, and they're not saying you can't do it. They're saying, this is the guy that can help bring the American dream back, so you can do what I did. And he's cool. You know what I'm saying? Nothing scripted. I could have ended it. He wasn't worried about that. I mean, it's just real stuff. I love it. Now, let's go to Beyonce. Now, Beyonce is worth $600 million, part of the Illuminati clan, part of the Illuminati elites. And I really believe this election is becoming more about the have and the have-nots. And I think that's what you see with Kamala Harris. It's about the have and the have-nots. You go to Trump's rallies, you see average everyday Americans. Yeah, you'll see some stars, former Steelers greats and stuff like that, but they're relating to the average everyday American. You think Samuel L. Jackson, Bruce Springsteen, and all these people are going to get off the stage and hang out with these people? Look at how giddy Le'Veon Bell was. I mean, it's just a huge difference. Let's roll video clip number 12, please, Gabe.
So happy to be standing here on this stage as proud country Texas women supporting and celebrating the one and only Vice President Kamala Harris. A woman who's been pushing for what this country really needs right now. Unity.
Unity.
It's impossible not to feel the energy in this room, the positivity, the community, the humanity. We are at the precipice of an incredible shift, the brink of history. I'm not here as a celebrity. I'm not here as a politician. I'm here as a mother. A mother who cares deeply about the world my children and all of our children live in. A world where we have the freedom to control our bodies. A world where we're not divided. Our past, our present, our future merge to meet us here. Imagine our daughters growing up seeing what's possible with no ceilings, no limitations. Imagine our grandmothers. Imagine what they feel right now. Those who have lived to see this historic day. Even those who are no longer physically with us. Imagine all of their sacrifice. The sacrifices made so we can witness the strength of a woman. Standing in her power.
Oh, man, standing in her power.
Reimagining.
You feeling that, Gabe?
Leadership is.
Oh, man. Reimagining what leadership is. So here you have Beyonce that says she's not here as a star. She's there as a mother. Beyonce, you would not have been invited to be there were you not Beyonce. And then she says, I'm here as a mother. And then she starts talking about abortion. That's rich. And then imagine the humanity, the unity, as Kamala Harris has dug down to call Trump a fascist, communist, all this kind of stuff, a threat to democracy, after the man has been shot once and another man attempted to assassinate him yet again. But the positivity, the community, I don't even know what the heck that means. And it's the glass ceiling thing. Just never mind the fact that Kamala Harris is dumb as a box of rocks. Never mind the fact that Kamala Harris is the worst vice president in American history. Oh, and by the way, Democrats were saying that just months ago before she participated in the coup against Joe Biden, the undemocratic coup against Joe Biden. But we should just want to see a woman, regardless of the fact that this chick has been an absolute disaster when it comes to borders, when it comes to the economy, when it comes to crime, when it comes to inflation. But we should pick her, and she can't even say a freaking coherent sentence, but we should go ahead and choose her because she's a woman and we want to break the glass ceiling. No, if Kamala Harris loses, it's not because she's a woman, it's because she sucks, Beyonce. All right, so now let's move on to the next one. I hope I made that emphatically clear. These people, in my opinion, people are tired of this crap. This stuff is not going to work any longer. Now, I'm going to show you why this stuff is not going to work any longer. All right, clip number 14. This is the bottom line. I'll show you more clips, but this is the bottom line. This is Jessica Jackson. This is a black woman in Chicago, former Democrat, that has simply had enough. Had enough of what? Well, we'll share that with you. Video clip number 14. Pull forward, Mr. Gabe.
You're running the city to the ground.
Jessica Jackson.
We've asked you over and over again to stop with the spending. We've told your cronies to stop with the spending. They won't stop you. They're letting you run ragged in here. They're letting you run the city through the ground. They won't stop you. So because of that, you've given us no choice. We got to go to the federal level. We got to go to Donald J. Trump.
That's right.
He's made it clear
Yes.
what he's going to do. See, I got to have some help. I can't let you and Cook County and the city take what my mother worked for and left for her children. Just because you feel like it, just because the Democratic Party think they all that, like they untouchables. This is America. You bring these people over here that's from socialist countries and all this and that, and y'all think y'all gonna run that here. Say that. Black America said, no, you're not.
No, you're not.
The true white Americans are saying, no,
you're not.
The true Latino, the true Asians are saying, no, you're not. I'm telling you, Brandon Johnson, from my heart to yours, Trump 2024. No more blue, no matter who.
That's right.
Donald J. Trump. Trump 2024. He gonna stop the bleeding. He gonna deal with this sanctuary city, and he gonna help us get you out.
Yup.
Get anybody out who roll with you.
Right.
Who think they gonna tear up Chicago.
Right.
Y'all getting out too. This is our city. You can sit there, think like you acting like you ain't paying attention, acting like it don't apply to you. Oh, yes, it does. You ain't untouchable either, Silverstein. We coming for anybody
Yup.
who ain't about Chicago.
That's right.
You got that?
That's right.
2024, big baby.
That's right. Go red! Go red!
I love this chick. Now it's supposed to be the opposite way, the other way around, right? Your local and your state officials impact your life the most, and since they do, and since they have, and since they're doing absolutely nothing to help the local Chicagoans that are being invaded by illegal aliens, as Mayor Brandon Johnson is, using city resources to help them. Black people aren't being helped, and you're starting to see blacks and Latinos in Chicago are not being helped, and a lot of people that need assistance in Chicago aren't getting the assistance they need because the resources are going to illegal aliens, and people are just fed up. They are going to, I'm telling you, I really believe that things are starting to shift. Things are starting to turn around. God bless Jessica Jackson. She's tired of the spending. She's tired of the city trying to take what her mother worked for to give her. She's tired of the sanctuary cities. And because they're not doing their job locally, she's doing what she shouldn't have to do. She's going to have to vote for a president that's going to stop the spigot at the border and then deal with the mess of the sanctuary cities that they've created. I don't know how the heck Brandon Johnson or became mayor after you guys had Beetlejuice out there, but hopefully you guys will get rid of him as soon as possible. But this is why I think there's a shift. This is why no matter what Kamala Harris says, no matter how many stars she brings in, they can't fight against this, because you know what? Tyler Perry isn't feeling this pain like the residents in Chicago is. Bruce Springsteen isn't feeling this pain. They're talking about they want to help the poor. They want to help the middle class. If you want to help the middle class, you should be telling Kamala, seal the freaking border so we don't have illegal aliens competing against the poor people in our cities. Damn it. God, man. These people just make me so freaking mad. These people make me so freaking mad. Hey guys, Carl Jackson here for MyPillow. A large retail store just canceled a huge order, leaving MyPillow with a ton of extra MyPillows. But you know what? That's their loss and your gain. For the first time ever, you can get a standard classic MyPillow for wholesale prices. So it's just for $14.88, but it gets even better. For a limited time, they're offering their entire classic collection at wholesale prices. You can get queen size MyPillows for as low as $18.88. Upgrade to a king for just $1 more. You can get the body pillows for $29.88 and the multi-use MyPillows for just $9.88. Go to MyPillow.com, use the promo code Carl, C-A-R-L, I don't spell it like the communists, or call 800-858-0263 to take advantage of wholesale pricing for the first time ever. That is insane. On top of that, receive free shipping on orders that are over $75. They have never been offered this low before. There are limited quantities at this price, so the limit is 10 items per person. Go to MyPillow.com or call 800-858-0263. Don't forget to use the promo code Carl to get the standard MyPillow for only $14.88. Again, the lowest price ever. Let me show you a couple more. All right. Let me just give you a couple more examples. We'll wrap this up pretty quickly here. I want to show video clip number 7. Kamala Harris comes out against deportation, support amnesty for illegal immigrants. All right. So this is another reason, obviously, why she'll lose. It's tied to this video, the video that you just saw with Jessica Jackson. These people aren't getting the clue. Please understand, Black people, Latinos, whites, they're replacing you. These people like Kamala Harris, they are ideologues. They hate America. They hate you. They hate anybody that loves America because they believe that America is a stolen land and we deserve what we get. We should bring in these illegals of the world. Not only will they keep the elites like Kamala Harris in power, but we'll get rid of this notion that America is some great place, right? We'll just get rid of that. You know, all these people that actually believe in the American dream, you're so stupid. Let's bring in the people that don't want to assimilate to America and that'll change the entire philosophy. And they love socialism and they'll vote for us as long as we give them a bunch of stuff. So let's go ahead and play video clip number 7, por favor, Gabe.
Right now we're talking about border security, and there's no Democrat talking about pathway to citizenship, an immigration relief, and the benefits that migrants bring to this country.
Oh, but there's no question that migrants bring. America is a country that was built in part by immigrants.
But people are concerned about their TPS, their DACA, we're talking about mass deportations.
I'm not talking about.
What do you stand on mass deportations? What's your stand there?
We need smart,
that was when she took time off.
Humane immigration policy in America that includes a pathway to citizenship.
Okay, so Kamala Harris, and you can tell she looked differently. Gabe mentioned it too. I don't know if you heard that, but in my ear, she lost some weight. This is when she took a day or two off of the campaign trail. This chick is almost 20 years younger than Trump, and she had to take a day off from the campaign trail. And basically, she said to the gentleman at Telemundo, "Hey, man, don't worry about it. I'm down. I'm down with you. Don't worry about it. Illegal aliens are going to be able. We're going to give amnesty." That's basically what she said there. I want to play another clip. Let's go ahead and back this thing up, as they say, Gabe. Let's go ahead and play video clip number 10. Por favor.
Regarding the rapid increase in the migrant population, how will you ensure that every immigrant is integrated into American society safely? What benefits and subsidies will you provide them with, and how long will these benefits and subsidies last for an individual? Most importantly, will the American citizens' taxes pay for these benefits and subsidies? And if so, how much money will be allocated?
Well, thank you, Jackson. Let's start with this. America's immigration system is broken, and it needs to be fixed. And it's been broken for a long time. And part of what we need to do is always prioritize.
Can you pause it for just a sec? Can you pause this video for just a sec? I got to just share something. All right, I try my best not to cuss. I had totally given up cussing before Biden got into office, and I struggle with it now. I'm not going to lie to you. Pray for me. But when this chick can't answer a question directly, I want to use Samuel L. Jackson's and her favorite word, apparently. Mofo, will you answer the question? Let's go back to the video.
Our border. I will tell you I'm the only person in this race among the two choices that voters have. I've personally prosecuted transnational criminal organizations in the trafficking of
We've
guns,
heard this
drugs,
before,
and human
Kamala.
beings.
Can you answer the question?
I have spent a significant part of my career making sure that our border is secure and that we do not allow criminals in, and we don't allow that kind of trafficking to happen and come into our country. And as my opponent has proven himself, he would prefer
will American
to
citizens
run on the
pay for the
problem
benefits
instead
and
of fix the
subsidies of
problem.
illegal aliens was the question. We can play that for a little longer. I'm just trying to remember what the question is, because that was the whole video. Okay, she never answered. Will American citizens pay for the benefits and subsidies of illegal aliens? She didn't answer because she can't answer. The answer is yes, because we're already doing it. This lady can't even be straight up. Frankly, I don't want to give her a pass. I don't think she's the brightest person in the bunch, but I don't want to give her a pass. I think there's two problems here with Kamala Harris. She's obviously not bright, and the stuff that she does believe, she cannot share. She cannot share. And I'm not sure if she. Yes, she can't even. That's a good point. She can't even lie to you, and she's not even bright enough to lie to you in your face. She just goes on and on and on, and she rambles in these word salads. I'm not even convinced that she can explain her own positions, but I think she believes in them because her dad was a Marxist and so was her mother. And this is what she knows. And she grew up privileged. I hate using that word, but it makes it easy. All right. She grew up privileged, wealthy, going to the best schools, living in the best neighborhoods. And this lady cannot relate to the average everyday American. All she's known is academia and government jobs. Activism, academia, and government jobs. She cannot relate to the average everyday American. And so in academia, when they hear that America is racist, we need to let illegals in, that's all she knows. That's all she knows. She's probably never even took the time to think of anything else. And she's been told that people like us are absolutely evil. But she can't even answer a question. Now, I want to show you something else. This is video clip. I think this is 14, Gabe. Trump on Rogan. Now, Trump did a 3-hour, 2 hours and 58 minutes to be exact, sit-down interview with Joe Rogan. Regardless of how you feel about Donald Trump, all right, do you think Kamala Harris could do a sit-down interview with Joe Rogan? And the answer is hell to the no. And we know why. Because Joe Rogan keeps needling. Like, he lets you talk. So the real person comes out. You can't be fake on a 3-hour podcast. Oh, what about this? What do you think about this? Well, I think this. And the person responds to it. You can't be fake in an environment like that. And Kamala Harris can't handle it. Video clip number 14.
The rebels are Republicans now.
Oh, there we go.
They're like, you want to be a rebel, you want to be punk rock, you want to buck the system. You're a conservative now. That's how
it was 11.
And then the liberals are now pro silencing criticism. They're pro censorship online. They're talking about regulating free speech and that regulating the First Amendment. It's bananas to watch.
Joe, they come after their political opponent.
Well, they
I
do.
got more guys. I always say, I kid, but I'm not kidding. I've been investigated more than Alphonse Capone. He was the meanest of them all. He'd kill you in 2 seconds if he didn't like you, right? I've been under investigation more than Alphonse Capone, only because it's political opponent stuff. And I've won. I won the big case in Florida. I'm winning the other stuff. You win. But you know what they did? They did something that's only done in third world countries. They came after their political opponent.
Yes.
I could have put crooked Hillary in jail.
Well, not only that, but they're weaponizing it by saying that that's what you're going to do once you get in office.
Isn't it great?
By ignoring what they're doing right now. It's crazy.
Stop there for just a sec. This is such a good point. This is what I do like about Joe Rogan. Not only that, he says, but they're now weaponizing this stuff by saying that's what you're doing against them. This is why I believe Trump is going to win. How many people? This guy has an audience of 14 million viewers. It's insane. All right, it's insane. How many people are hearing that or that's clicking for them for the first time ever? For the first time ever. And Joe Rogan, he isn't just a liberal. He's left. I mean, he's left, but he's an American, right? He's like, yeah, I have these views. And I listened to a comedy skit of his one day where he was talking about the Christians next to him. Like, how could you be so brain dead to believe this stuff? That's what he believes. It sounds mean. It's whatever. I had to turn at that point, but I listened to some of it and I'm like, okay, whatever, free speech. But that's him. But he's like, it's okay. He told the audience when they laughed, he was like, it's okay. I like them, though. They're really nice people. They're really good people. He was like, I just don't understand how they could believe this stuff because he doesn't believe in God. That's fine. But he's an American. And we can still get along. But not with the Biden-Harris administration and not with Kamala Harris. And then it's all projection. All the stuff that they're doing to us, they'll weaponize and say, no, that's what Trump is doing. That's what the right is trying to do. Let's go ahead and finish out that video clip, please, Gabe.
Somebody was defending me today. They said, no, they say, that's what you're doing to him. They're going, he's going to put us in jail. He's going to invest. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing to him.
Yeah.
A lot of people say, will you do that? Will you do that to him, to them, if you win? The presidency has tremendous power. I could have put crooked Hillary
I
in
respected
jail.
that you didn't because what you said was it would be bad for the country.
I like that too. I respected that you didn't because what you said is it would be bad for the country. This is a podcast, and then I can't wait to see the whole thing. I've seen Trump plenty in interviews, so it's not that. But I just love the conversation. I respected that you didn't. That's important. And that's important for Trump to hear, too, I believe. And I don't think Trump would do it, frankly. But that's important for him to hear and for other people to hear because this humanizes him. And that's what Kamala Harris can't afford. Let me show you this one last video clip number 9. This is her debacle. CNN Townhall. I mean, you even heard the CNN analysts after this town hall. They had given they gave up. You from David Axelrod to the other panelists, Van Jones. There were a couple other Democrats or liberals on that panel. and Scott Jennings, the one conservative. But obviously he's funny. He's been consistent. But you could hear Democrats giving up. She doesn't have the ability to be able to rise above the word salads. But here's one of them. Video clip number 9, please, Gabe.
Is there something you can point to in your life, political life or in your life in the last 4 years, that you think is a mistake that you have learned from?
I mean, I've made many mistakes.
Just name one.
And they range from, if you've ever parented a child, you make lots of mistakes too. In my role as vice president, I mean, I've probably worked very hard at making sure that I am well versed on issues, and I think that is very important. It's a mistake not to be well versed on an issue and feel compelled to answer a question.
This chick is hopeless. Seriously, I used to joke about her, and I semi-believed it, but now I know it's fact just watching her. I used to say that that Biden had more smarts than her as a dementia patient. Damn, I was right. It's insane. It's insane. Okay, so let me just wrap this up, and then we'll close with what I hope we're all gonna feel like on November 5th, 6th, the latest. All right, we need to get these things wrapped up. But you just watched why Kamala Harris is not going to win the black vote. She's not going to win black men, and why I believe she's going to continue to lose voters. I don't think there's any early voting has already started. I don't believe there's anything that can be done to revitalize Harris's campaign, with the exception of making sure that voters hate Donald Trump so much that the base will show up just because they hate Donald Trump so much. But I don't think even when it comes to that, people that hate Trump are just going to say, screw it all. If they start hearing or believing that Kamala Harris, I don't even think they'll show up to vote. I could be wrong. I don't know. But numbers in Nevada and Florida are looking good as far as early voting is concerned for Republicans. But here's what you need to know. Let me just real quickly summarize this column that Jason Riley wrote about in Wall Street Journal. He interviewed Robert Woodson Jr. About revitalizing the black communities. Robert Woodson has been at this for a long time, working in these environments, lower income black communities, and trying to revitalize them, give people hope and stuff like that to achieve the American dream. This is what's happening. And we're watching history. Gabe, I think this is very important to have on a short, perhaps. Just prepping you. We're watching history right now. Here's why Kamala Harris will not and cannot increase her black vote support. Both men, and I guarantee you she's not going to win as many black women. And here's why. Because we've been saying as conservatives, guys, look, Democrats have been running these blue cities, I mean, all along, and they are an absolute disaster. They are absolute disaster. They've been running them for 60 years. They've been running them for 60 years, and nothing has changed. Democrats come out with the same arguments every 2 to 4 years. Kamala Harris, people not supporting Kamala Harris has nothing to do with her being a woman. You can see Karen Bass in LA. You can see the senatorial candidate in Baltimore that's mopping the floor with the Republican. There's plenty of black women and women in general that have achieved the epitome of power in politics where they're at. Not the presidency, but it has nothing to do with not being a woman. Hillary Clinton stunk. Kamala Harris is way worse than Hillary Clinton. But now you have black people saying, wait a minute, 60 years, our communities have been crap. Democrats have been saying they're gonna help us. And then Trump comes into office, opportunity zones, funding HBCUs, gives us tax breaks so we can keep more of our own money instead of giving it to Kamala Harris and Biden. Inflation goes down to 1.4%, virtually non-existent. Biden and Harris get in. They spend all this unnecessary money. Inflation goes up to 9%. And so now your money isn't worth as much. Then you get illegals coming in, and then you got the crime with the defund the police movement. And then all of these Democrat communities with all of these policies that their leaders support are starting to rain down on them. And then just a few years ago, they got to experience a better life under Trump. And now they have to experience the crap that they put up with before in just a matter of a few years with Joe Biden. The back-to-back presidencies are killing them. So Kamala's outreach is not going to happen. It's not going to work. Why? Because even the policies that she mentioned, we're going to help, small black business owners. We're going to give 1 million of them $20,000. So the hell what? There's only a small percentage of black people that are black entrepreneurs, just like there's a small percentage of Latinos and whites and Asians that are entrepreneurs. Most people are going to go to work in the workforce. So even the policies that she claims are going to benefit blacks are only going to benefit a few. And that includes giving subsidies to weed growers or marijuana dispensary stores or what have you. So you get black people that sell weed in the hood, and then they go back to their homes in the suburbs. This stuff isn't working. And then you saw Jessica Jackson. Illegals are coming in and taking the benefits that they've been fighting for, and Democrats have been promising them for decades. You hear me? All this stuff that Democrat leaders are giving people that invaded our country. You got blacks, you got Latinos, you got people living in the hood that are straight up struggling. And they're telling Democrats, I'm for you. They're telling the little man, I'm for you. Meanwhile, these people like Jessica Jackson are struggling. You break into the damn country and we're going to give you food stamps. We're going to give you a place to, a roof over your head. We're going to give you checks. We're going to give you money, and we're going to give you an opportunity to vote to keep this stuff. Meanwhile, you don't give it to the damn people that's been struggling for 60 damn years. That's why Kamala Harris is going to lose. And I pray to God she loses so badly that we'll feel like this on November 5th. Let's roll video clip number 13. Por favor, Gabe. Of truth in the world of confusion and lies. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast wherever you go to get your podcast: Apple, Google, Spotify, YouTube, and Rumble. Por favor, all things social media at The Carl Jackson Show. Until next time, don't grow weary doing good. God bless you.